Yo, this is your boy Anubis Can't Be Stopped, and I'm back again with another division video. And it's actually a weird one, actually, because I actually want to get somebody's feedback about this. Like, someone told me that PvE players are literally messing up the dark zone because now people that normally frequent the dark zone don't want to come in because there's so many PvE players in there now looking for the coveted raid exotics, and all they want to come in with is skill builds and all red builds and things of that nature, and they can't really get a grasp of it because I guess they're so used to being overpowered, or they're used to being everybody's wearing a million tons of armor and having survivability out of the world by just strafing around and things of that nature. And you can't say I don't have the same type of builds, because I do. You can't say that that's only one perspective, because it's not. Because someone told me that not too long ago while I was playing, that I'm the reason why that they're going back to Apex or something or another, because they were doing their thing in the dark zone, and now it's not as easy to do their thing in the dark zone because it's a bunch of PvE players. Well, what do you expect? You put some raid exclusives into the dark zone and expect PvE players not to go for those raid exclusives? Are you kidding me? I'm in there every day hoping one to drop. Every single day I go to the dark zone and get either dark resources, or I go in there to get what do you call it? Resources and what's the other stuff that I go in there for? The raid exclusives. I wouldn't mind getting another Eagle Bearer. Max that bad fella out. Yeah, of course. I want all that too. Absolutely. Why not? Why wouldn't you want all that stuff that you can get from the dark zone? That's what the dark zone is there for, right? It's meant there to be you fight for what you want, you get it, then you go ahead and you maximize out your builds and stuff like that. You getting all those exotic components to maximize out your build. I've seen some completely maximized God roll builds. I'm talking about, when I say God roll, I'm talking God Rizzy. I'm not even joking. I'm talking about all the way maxed out, 22 on everything. Every piece is 22, and it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. I love it. Totally be honest with you, seeing people go in the dark zone and be like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome." Now, what I was saying a while ago, and people don't get it. I told people that the game is not scaled right for PvP. Because if it was scaled right for PvP, the strongest builds in the game would be all red builds, hands down. Anything in front of it would be like totally annihilated, period, point blank. That is just what it is. That is, do not pass go, do not collect $200. That is what it is. Now, everybody wants to argue me down about that fact, but it is an actual fact that the game is scaled wrong. Because like I showed yesterday, that the build that I was wearing, I was getting just about as much damage from that build that I would get from my all red Providence defense build with the same type of weapons, and that ain't right. You know it ain't. Because any other game The DPS players are the people that do the most damage in the game, period. It doesn't matter how much armor you put on, it won't even make a difference. Like, a DPS player would eat through that armor with no problem. And healers, like people that spec into healing and things of that nature, their healing is off the charts. When I say off the charts, I'm talking about like they're getting heals, like they're getting armor back like instantly and stuff like that, because they spec into healing. Now if you spec into a hybrid healer crit build, you would be like totally dominant, because you're getting the heals back, you're getting, and you're landing your shots, and so therefore you're getting all these kills and things of that nature. It's hard to stop something like that, because that's the way the mechanics were meant to run. Now people might not like that, or might think that's just a cheap way of playing, or however you want to say it, but the fact of the matter is, it would be a problem for anybody to go up against a build like that. No matter how you look at it, DPS is supposed to be the highest amount of damage you can get in the game, is the all red builds. But it is not scaled that way. It's scaled where you could wear a bunch of blues or a bunch of armor cores and still have the same type of damage that you would have for a complete red build. That is not scaled right. If you don't have weapon damage cores, you should not be doing any weapon damage. If you have armor cores, you should have a shield that lasts a little bit longer to protect your DPS players and your skill build players. Skill builds should be able to kill everybody, because they can completely spec into all their utilities. So if you completely spec into utilities, of course you should have a lot more damage. Do I think the shrapnel trap should have been nerfed? No, absolutely not. The shrapnel trap being nerfed was like the worst thing they could have did for PvP, to totally be honest with you, because what happened was the shrapnel trap kept people honest to a certain extent. Like, that's the reason why people were complaining about the shrapnel trap. There was no contingency plan for the shrapnel trap, other than hoping that you kill the agent before the shrapnel trap goes off. Especially if you're trying to camp a door, or you're trying to run up a manhunt by just staying by the checkpoint, the spawn point, and stuff like that. So if that is the case, then this is what happens. What happens is you get to the point where you gotta you have a low damage shrapnel trap. Now they did the same thing to the bombardier drone. Now you got a low bombardier drone. You also got a low, what's that other one? Seeker mines are not as powerful as they used to be. Stickies are not as powerful as they used to be. I don't get why y'all nerfing everything into the ground. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just does not make sense to me. So you make it make sense. But saying that PvE players are destroying PvP is just ludicrous, because guess what? Everything that you get, even though you run in the dark zone for God knows how long, everything you get more likely came from PvE. And as much as people hate to admit it, you gotta go to PvE to get certain stuff. So that's my rant. That's my rant. That's what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna let that be that. PvE players are not destroying PvP, because you can't have a PvP.
I can't tell you how relieved I am to have you on our side. Thank you.
Cause because you can't have a PvP without a PvE. So if you're not willing to grind during PvP or PvE, you're not going to have PvP at all. So all the guns and stuff like that you had to get, you had to go through some type of PvE. Even though the Dark Zone is PvP, it is a PvP versus PvE aspect. So some kind of way you had to do some PvE. Whether you went through what do you call it? What do you call that damn thing? All the checkpoints and landmarks and stuff like that. No matter how you slice it, you had to do it one way or the other. So, like, subscribe. It's your boy Noobs Can't Be Stopped, as always. Just dropping a little knowledge. Now, people might not like what I had to say about how things are scaled because they want to keep the status quo of being able to wear a bunch of armor and survive. It's simple. If you want to have a bunch of armor and survive, it is easy. Scale it like y'all did the shrapnel. I mean, not the shrapnel, but the EMP. Scale it like that. If you scaled it like that, you would have a better shot at everything. You know what I'm saying? You would have a better go at everything and anything in the game. If you think about it, you would have like say for instance I'm wearing 3 red cores or 3 weapon damage cores. That means I would have weapon damage on my build, and then I go ahead, then I put some blue on there. Now I got blue cores on my build. You know what I'm saying? It's ways around doing it. It should, like, I like that 3 up, 3 down scenario, because it makes sense.
We need you to secure the memorial and remove the True Sons forces. If they maintain this outpost, True Sons will be a direct threat to the campus.
Look at this. There you go. You got survivability and you got damage. Boom. None more you can ask for.
You'll need to find a way to open that gate.
1, 2, and 3 skill tiers. 3 skill tiers, 3 red cores, 2 armor cores, hybrid build. There you go. Now you can still do all your strafing that you want to do and things of that nature before you catch your opponent off guard. Same thing. Like I said, the game should be chess, not checkers. There you have it. Like and subscribe. This is your boy Noobs Can't Be Stopped, and I'll see you in the next one.